Probably no one will be surprised by the fact that our planet is going through hard times. Deforestation, exploitation of seas and soils, air and water pollution, all these problems push our world to the environmental disaster. Though, nowadays we have a lot of heroes that support our planet. One of them, Jadav Payeng, known as the Forest Man of India. He has spent 30 years of his life planting trees to save his island, creating a forest, and restoring its wildlife. And before we continue the story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. All of this began when he was just a little boy. One day, the boy went to the local palmist and he prophesied that Jadav's life will take the course of nature. As a kid, he never paid any attention to these words and almost forgot it until he was 16. He remembered the day very clearly. His story begins in 1979. The Muli Reserve is the forest of the Majuli Island in the Brahmaputra River in Assam, India. It has a total area of about 1,000 hectares and is under continued threat due to the extensive soil erosion on its banks. After a devastating flood, Jadav found many dead snakes on the shore. They died from the heat since the bank was absolutely deserted and there was not a single tree that could give them shade and no opportunity to return back to the saving river. He wondered what it would look like if the same happened to humans. The island was being eroded very quickly. What he saw deeply shocked Jadav. He decided to change the situation and make the riverbank habitable. However, the authorities said that not a single plant could take root on the deserted coast and refused to help him. But Jadav didn't give up. That is why he asked tribal people in a nearby village what he could do, and they advised him to plant trees, bamboo in particular, since it could withstand harsh conditions. They also gave him 25 samplings and some seeds. What Jadav did on that hot day, inspired by something that pinched in his heart and scared him at the same time, would win him global recognition a few years later. On the advice of the village elders, he first planted only 20 bamboo seedlings to see if they could take root. The bamboo took root and turned green, so Jadav continued to plant trees. Seeing that the plants planted by Payeng can be cultivated, the authorities changed their minds and decided to plant 200 hectares of forest in the desert areas. Jadav actively helped the foresters in the implementation of this idea, and after that, he decided to live in a newly planted forest, looking after it and planted more and more new territories around with trees. "I stopped going to school," says Jadav, speaking of his childhood in the 1970s. It was a practical decision, as he was getting obsessed with his vision and could think of nothing else. Majuli is the biggest river island in the world. The Muli forest now encompasses an area of about 550 hectares of forest. Thanks to Jadav, the Muli forest now houses tigers, rhinoceros, reptiles, deers and rabbits, in addition to monkeys and several varieties of birds, including a large number of vultures. Now Jadav has become a real celebrity in his village, and they respectfully call him the keeper of the forest. However, Payeng continues to live in a modest forest hut with his loving wife raising 3 children. This story is really fantastic and very deep. So, if only one person managed to plant a huge forest by himself, then everyone can plant at least a single tree that will help to save our beloved planet.